Hi guys, Kirk and Jay here with Kirkgiordano Plastering. I get a lot of calls from you folks and you say, gee, can you show some of your work when it's finished? Well, there it is. Looks pretty nice, huh? I'm kidding guys. Okay, you know that's not my finished work. But what we're here today is to fix this. Homeowner called me and said, gee, what can you do to fix it? Now, I looked at it and I said, well, I looked at it on a picture he emailed me and I said, well, from the pictures I see, it looks like a couple things happen here. Not only is he too proud, which means it's past this a little bit, but he used the wrong finish material. And what is this white stuff here? Well, I'm hoping it's a plaster which he put over a painted surface. Plaster will not adhere to a painted surface. How am I going to expect my new plaster to adhere? I'll show you. We're going to put a bonding agent. What we're planning on doing today is I'm going to take some of his texture off. Can we remove this whole thing? Absolutely. But you got to look at it like this, guys. It's not leaking and it's not bad. Can it be feathered in without tearing the whole thing out? I can do it, yes. I'll show you something right here. Now, I don't know if you could zoom in here. This is fine sand. It's Santa Barbara, smooth mission finish. That's what La Habra calls it. Other companies call it marble, but it's a fine sand. The next one is a 2030. What does 2030 mean? That means it's a fine sand. It's a sand like this. And then you can go to the coarse sand. That's 1620. That's what he used here for his texture. And then he floated it. He brought the aggregate out. So he's got a few things going wrong here. He used the wrong finish, he floated it, and he went over his edge. And because you got a perimeter crack here, he thought, well, gee whiz, we got a perimeter crack, so what I'll do is put a texture over that crack. That's not how you do it, guys. If you get a perimeter crack, that just means that your wire didn't crisscross like that. And the easiest way to fix that is with caulking. So he kind of made it a bit of an eyesore. Here's what we're going to do. First thing I want to do is see how well this is adhered. Now I can look at it and I know that I don't see no bonding agent here. It would either have a sheen or it would be blue for like the Weldcrete, the Larson's makes. So I don't see it. So I know this is going to come off easy. This is going to be a tougher thing. You can go a lot of ways, guys. Trowels, putty knives, margin trowels. I'm going to use my bulldog here, and I have a special bit right here. So here's my regular tools for breaking out stucco, and here's for actually shaving it. So what I'll do is, this is what we want to do, guys. We want to scrape this off. And you see where on a painted surface, it'll come off. Well, it's coming off well here. That's what I want to see. Actually, that's pretty good. I want to get all of this off. Actually, that's much better than I had hoped. I can use this, and again, guys, if you're doing this, use a mask, wear glasses. This is actually coming off 10 times better than I had hoped. So that's a good sign. So what I'm going to do now is, this is the tool I'm actually going to use. Jason and I are going to take all of this off. We're going to prep it. I'm going to caulk this with a polyurethane caulking so water doesn't go in here. Then we're going to apply a bonding agent. And then I'm going to use this particular material, except I'm not going to float it. I'm going to trowel it on. Then I'm going to hit it, match this texture. So we'll show you as we go. We've got a dead battery going on here, so. Oh, that's just beautiful. Easy, easy, easy. That's what I like. This is perfect with this plane right here. That's what I want. So we're going to get this caulking in here, and when we get to that stage, we'll show it to you. But so far, much better than I imagined as far as my view from the picture and as far as my just now playing around with it. I think we're going to have an easy time here. We're going to match this texture on the money this time.
Alright guys, I'm going to show you a little bit more of the fun stuff. Now doing the breakout on this, there's two ways we could go about doing this. This side stuff, whatever this stuff is that they put in, that has to come out. We got to get that stuff out. The rest of this, we could leave on and glue over and then retexture. But because it's a little proud, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tear it all off. It's a separate color code. It's coming off pretty nice, and I'm just going to show you that. First, this side stuff, we're going to get in just a little bit And then I can just go down. Now the more of that I can get off, the easier it will be for him to feather in this texture. Do we need to? No. Would everybody? I doubt it. But that's what we do because we want it to look nice. Kind of like shaving your face, which is something you guys know I don't like to do.
All right, guys, I'm going to show you how we ended up where we are there. That's ready to go. But first, okay, Jason did all the hard work and scraped it all off. Now, see this dust? Nothing adheres to dust, nothing. So I took about 10-15 minutes and scraped all the dust off of there. Then what I did is I improvised. I seen what this fella did. He didn't do a bad job, actually. He put a flash in here known as a J channel. You can do that. That's for commercial, but not for residential. Anyhow, what I did over here was, after I got all of the dust off, I filled this crack up with a polyurethane caulking. Then I took the mesh tape, and after I got all the dust off here, I applied it. Now we're looking like this. What's this blue stuff? That is Weldcrete. It's Larson's bonding agent to adhere stucco to a painted surface. Now notice the fellas who did this originally, how easily that came off because they didn't use any bonding agent. There's a lot of bonding agents, guys. It doesn't have to be Larson's. It could be any one of a number of different products. Home Depot, Lowe's, everybody sells their own brand. Anyway, what I'm doing now is I'm giving it a coat. I'm going on my perimeter first. I actually thought I was going to have to come about this far and feather in, but not necessary. The fella here didn't do as bad as it looked originally because we didn't account for the fact that he used a J trim. Okay, so what I'm doing basically now is I am putting the skim coat on. You have to have the skim coat on before you can do a texture. And I like to come as far down as possible. That way, when my coat is done, it looks like a professional did it. I'm trying to hustle, guys, because we're going to be in the shade in a minute, and it'll come out. It won't show as well, so bear with me. Here we go. I think I got about 5 more minutes before we lose the sun completely. And actually, that's all I need. You heard that, guys, so if you're watching, you're thinking, oh, 5 more minutes, that's a long time. Okay, get some of this. I'm feathering all the way to there. It's about a foot past. And I'm taking it to the bottom, guys, because I don't want the transition to show. The further down you go and the further out for a bad patch, the better. Okay, we're going to take it here. And also what I usually do is I take a green sponge float and I float in my edges right here. All right, guys, Jay was kind enough to grab me a sponge float. This gets the joint even tighter. Of course, it brings out the aggregate like that last guy did. It makes it sandy. I don't want it sandy, but I do want the joint tight. So I'm going to bring out the sand just like that guy did. See, he went like this. Notice it looks sandy. We don't want that for this, but here's what I do after I get my joint. Okay. I take the trowel and just go on it. Now I'm smoothing it back out. And remember, guys, go below your dirt line. Take it like that, because in back of here he has a steel trowel finish. Okay, so now I have a steel trowel finish. Take that little top edge there, make it pretty, or try to. And then we just texture. I think I do have a little bit of daylight left to do this. Okay, now you look at his finish. That's a 2030. This is 2030. Now we just match his finish. Time, boom. Get it so that'll come right off. Take it up. Take it, and we put a light skip trowel on it. You know the drag about doing a skip trowel, whether or not it's in the sunlight or the shade, is you can't really see it because it's the same color. But now that I've got that skip on there, I knock it down. Here's my joint right here. Well, I'll take my skip and go right on that joint for the, there's tape and mud there, or I'm sorry, there is, well, there's weld creep, but there's the fiberglass tape, which I want to cover too. So we're coming here, and we just match that, knock it down immediately, come down, match it. You see any holidays? Look where a holiday is and get that guy out the way. Now, one thing we've got that the last fella didn't have is our transition is flush. Now we made it flush by, of course, taking that off. If I put a 2x4 here to there, that'll be flush right there. And that's what you want. Now our finish matches because we don't have a float finish, and plus we're using the correct sand. All right, guys, we were going to call it quits over there, but Jay decided to get fancy. He says, how about I put some color in it so they could see the actual texture? And I thought, that's a cool idea. Plus it'll freak the homeowner out when he comes home. I'm kidding. Homeowner's standing watching us. All right, same deal. Jay just put a tit in this so you can get an idea of what it looks like. Let's see. And we start from the bottom, work my way up. And this side actually took a little bit more playing around than the other side, meaning I have a lot more depth right here. So we have to make it work. Does this matter that it's a different color? No. Why? Because they're painting it anyway. Okay, where it comes to this transition here, this is kind of, notice now, I built that out. I built it out a little bit more just right here. This is about the thickest transition on it, where I had to feather in. In one spot there's 1/8 of an inch, and another there's about a 1/2 inch. I would get that just about there. And again, I look at that texture, which I can see a patch here, but there's this is the texture we want to match. Two things going on this house. So we'll take it, come up, take it back here, get our transition way over there, awkward. Finish my texture here. I think that looks mighty weird because this is not a standard color. This is a whole color pack to prove a point. Normally 1 2-pound pack does a 94-pound bag of stucco. But Jay just put the whole pack in here to prove a point. Why? Because we can. Next thing you know, he's going to be giving you guys the shirt off his back. All right. So that actually does show the texture quite a bit better than that other one. Anyway, we match this texture there. Come knock it down just a little bit. Knock it down. And now the transition, if you put a 2x4 here, it'll line up. Plus the texture matches. And remember, guys, don't go floating it because that brings the sand out. It's all about a trowel finish. Anyway, my name is Kirk, Jason on the camera. We thank you for watching, and as usual, see you guys on the next one. Once again, folks, we thank you for watching, and I really enjoy all your comments.
If you guys like this video, please click the like button down below, and also if you enjoy what we do, subscribe to our channel so we can keep making these videos for you.
My name is Kirk.
And Jay.
We thank you for watching, and from the entire Giordano family, we'll see you on the next one.